Hey guys, welcome back to Parm Custom Woodworking. I'm Matt, and today we're going to build a straight edge similar to a track saw for my circular saw. I break down sheet goods a ton of the time, and it gets old because you have to measure in and then put down well, this is what I've been using. So I take this and I put this down on here as my straight piece. I run my tracks or my circular saw against it, but then you have to figure out, calculate the distance for your saw blade to the edge, and mistakes have been made. So I'm going to make this so I can line it right up on my cut, zip, and I get what I want. So that's what we're going to do today. I have a piece of 1/2-inch plywood that I'm going to use, and we're going to cut off on the side, on that side first. I'm going to make two of them, and I'll show you why I'm making a second one in a little bit. But I'm going to make two 3-inch strips, and they'll be the piece that my saw will go up against and give me my straight edge. We're going to use the factory edge. I'm going to cut it a little bit big, and then I'm going to run it through my table saw to get it to the 3 inches. Let's get to it. So I've already got marks on either end of this at 8 inches. And that's going to give me, so I need 3 inches for each piece. And that's going to be 6 plus a little for the blade kerf. And then I need 1.5 inches from the edge of the rail to my saw blade. So that should give me enough to give me all the extra, and then I can run it through my table saw and straighten them up and get them where I want them. So this is the way I've been doing it. You put this piece down here, and then you clamp it on either end. You have your mark on here. So this is 8 inches. I only want 6, but I have to count for the edge of the saw blade. So this is what we're going to run with today. You want to make sure you set up your blade depth so you don't cut through into anything else underneath. So just adjust it up till it's close. So we'll get it so that's just below the edge of that. It does work. It comes off there quick, makes a nice straight edge. We're at 6 and just over 3/8. So now I'll go ahead and take it and I'll run it through the table saw and I'll make it into 2. Alright, so 2 strips at 3 inches. I'm going to go ahead and get the bases cut and put them together, and that'll be it. Alright, so on this section what we got to do is we got to figure out how far it is from the edge of my guide right here, to the blade. And when you put up there and measure, it's like 5 1/16, 5 1/8. So we have that. So we're going to do 6 inches. It'll go from there to the edge of that. That'll give me room for my saw. And then I'll have my 3-inch guide board. It's going to be on top, so that's going to be 9 inches. And then you want to make sure you have enough room to cover your motor. So my motor's, say, 3 inches. So that's going to be the thickness of my guide board. So I'm still at 9 inches. And then I want some room off the back side of that so I can put my clamps on it so I can clamp it down when I make my cuts. So I'm going to put another 3 inches out for the end of that. So my baseboard is going to be 1 foot to start. So I'll go ahead and cut 2 1-foot sections and we can get going from there. Alright, so there's one of my boards at 1 foot. Like I said, we're going to make 2 of these things, so here we go. Alright, there's my second one. Get one of my 12-inch sections. Measure down, measure over 6 inches. That's right where I want the edge of my guide board. And then this I'm going to glue the bottom of this and then just clamp it down there. And then I'm going to go ahead and screw it down with some 3/4 inch wood screws. I'm using Titebond 2 wood glue on this today. It'll smear up pretty good. Trying to keep it away from the edges a little bit, just because I don't want it to smear out a whole lot and cause issues with my rail or my line. Go ahead and put a little more on here. Yeah, I want it to have a nice bond to it, but I just don't want it to, if you get glue in there, it's going to cause issues. Go ahead and tip this over, get her lined up where I want it, hopefully. ahead and get it lined up at the end. And then we'll go dry some screws in there. Like I said, these are just a 3/4 inch wood screw. That way they won't come out the back side. I would imagine you could be able to use brad nails or pin nails in this too. All it is just holding it. Alright, so there's the screws. Now we have it set up. But if you remember right, the blade is only 5 inches and some change. 5 1/8 or so from that edge. So what I want to do is go ahead and run down through here, and that'll make the edge of it, when I run my saw blade down through here, that'll make the edge of this right where my saw blade is going to be. So I can line it right up on the cut point, and it'll give me a perfect cut every time. All right, so there we are. All right, so there we are, guys. So that's that track saw. I'm gonna go ahead and put together the other one. Well, circular saw guide, not a track saw. And I'll go ahead and put the other one together, and I'll show you what we're gonna do with that. Go ahead and get our glue on here. Probably like a circus song. Alright, so we're going to flip this over, get it on here, and screw it and glue it. I'll go ahead and get this screwed down. You like rap music? Sing a rap with me. Yeah! It's not exactly how it goes, but if you know what movie that one's out of, go ahead and put it in the comments down below. It's a pretty funny movie. They just made a new one of it not too long ago. Not a remake, in addition to the series. You guys like movies? I love movies. I don't think they make as many good ones now as they used to. They used to make a ton of good movies. Now I think the movies are just kind of, yeah. Oh well. Ever since COVID. Alright, so there it goes. It's screwed down. I'm going to take this one clamp off here so I can put a screw in here on this end. Alright, now I'll go ahead and clamp this back down. And I'll make my cut. Make our cut and we'll have it squared up. Alright, so there's our second one. So maybe you're asking yourself, why would you make 2 of them? So, if I rip down full sheets of stuff, I need my 8-footer. If I'm trying to cross cut it, I only need 4. So to bring out the 8-footer and put it across there and then set it up is a lot more. So I'm going to cut this one down in a 5-foot section and a 3-foot section. And then I'll have pieces that'll work for better lengths. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take it over to the miter saw, give her a cut, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, there we go. So we finished them all up. It's a nice simple project, doesn't take very long. It took me about an hour and 20 minutes maybe. I don't know if it took that long, probably closer to an hour to build these. And they should make everything a little bit faster for taking down sheet goods, for ripping stuff up. If you guys enjoyed the video, if you learned anything, gonna make one of your own. If you had a way I can make this better, if you know what movie I was talking about, go ahead and leave me a comment down below, a like and a subscribe. If you share it, that helps out the channel greatly. Trying to grow it a little bit. But yeah, if you guys have anything, reach out, let me know. I appreciate you watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.